Good morning students, myself Vishal Pandey, and I hope you all are doing well. So children, without wasting any time, in further conversation, let us back to the topic, the sense of collective belongings. As you are knowing well that we have taken nationalism in India and we have completed at least 80% or 85% of this chapter. So basically today we are going to understand the sense of collective belonging. So what it deals with, this is very important, and what are the symbols, signs and everything which was there in the revolution before independence, that will help you a lot to understand this chapter. But before, let us visualize, analyze this topic which is known as the sense of collective belongings, that what is the basic structure, what is the basic requirements of the people, basically of the Indian country which was not free from Britishers. We were there in the hands of British government. Since that we have done well in terms of getting our country on that platform. So the first question which raises here is, how does a sense of belonging develop in the minds of people who belong to different communities, regions and speak different languages? If you remember, in 1905 Indian Muslim League was formed. What it means? That the people of India were divided on the basis of caste, community, religion, gender, etc. and etc. So that is what playing an important role in this topic, the sense of belonging, collective belonging. Collective belonging means what? Different types of people living together happily and enjoying the nation state. Now what is nation state? Same culture, same history, and that the one flag, one nation, one culture, one history. This is the sense of belonging, collective belonging, what I mean. So what I mean to say today is that what are these beliefs and common bonds exactly known as? This is very important, that the belongings as well as the beliefs, faith and the common bonds between the people, what it refers to. In that context, if you see, the collective belonging comes through experiences of common struggle. If you remember, non-cooperation and civil disobedience, women for the first time gathered in civil disobedience movement on large scale. Mass gathering of women's were there in that revolution. But before that non-cooperation movement, if you see, the belongings or the gatherings of people came to know, people came to have that belongings, means we have faith on the people that they must gather, they should gather when it comes to national security. So second point is a common history and fiction. As I told you that nation state, this concept came from France. If you remember, you have studied French Revolution in class 9th. French Revolution brought three ideologies and it has given to throughout the globe, the country, or you can say the world has achieved three ideologies from French Revolution. That was fraternity and equality, and then obviously we say the rights of freedom, rights of expression, rights of speech, right to equality, education, many more things which you should understand. Folklore and songs, if you remember Marseilles, in French Revolution you had gone through a name called Marseilles. Now Marseilles is a place in France, but from Marseilles the revolutionaries took away themselves, they gathered in the large number and they moved singing Marseillaise, the French national anthem. That is to be called folklores and songs. If you remember Sarfaroshi Ki Tamanna, if you remember that song, it brings a sudden change in the atmosphere. It brings sudden change in the personality of individual. That is why the folklores or the national songs, energetic songs, patriotic songs were sung by the revolutionaries to bring that sudden change in their personality. So that is also important, to bring people under one belief and to build the common bonds. So if you see the national songs, or if you hear patriotic songs, you feel pride of your own country. What it means, that whenever these types of songs comes and when you hear them, you realize sudden changes takes place in your soul, in your body, in your mind as well. So popular prints and symbols are there, factors giving rise to nationalism. Some symbols, some signs, some ideas are there in the country which can bring sudden change in your personality, in your mind. The way you think, it will change your thinking as well. So we are going to study about those symbols, those signs and those ideologies in the next slide. As you can see, the symbols we will see first. On the right side you can see the portrait of Bharat Mata. She is representing whole nation sitting on a lion, and this type of portrait brings sudden change in your thinking. And if you talk about before independence, when India was struggling in terms of getting independence, these type of portraits were playing an important role, had played an important role to draw the attentions of the revolutionaries as well as the layman of country. So keep this in your mind, that when you see this type of portrait, for example, Bankim Chand Chattopadhyay has created Vande Mataram. Now when you sing Vande Mataram, you feel sudden changes. That is a song. But if you see some pictures as well, when you see the national flag, what it means, it brings sudden change in your life, in your atmosphere, in your thinking, in your personality and in your soul as well. You started thinking about country. Okay, so what you have to think, what you have to understand as well, that Statue of Liberty, for example, if I say of USA, United States of America, the Statue of Liberty has certain symbol. It has certain symbol within itself. It has been given to America by France. France has given that gift to America in the form of Statue of Liberty, but it presents the whole nation. So if you see, we had made a Statue of Unity in Gujarat. What it reflects the unity of India, unification of India, because Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was a man who is also called Bismarck of India. So he has unified the country at that time. So he will be always there in the minds of people. Sardar Patel will be always there in the mind of people as a symbol. His statue is there in Gujarat, made on Narmada, banks of Narmada river, which is called the Statue of Unity. So these type of symbols, national flags, statues as well, plays an important role to change your mind, bring sudden change in your life, and it brings change so that you can inculcate your thoughts in terms of your country. So if you think about Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, suddenly you visualize, you analyze Vande Mataram. So people used to sing song when they were under British government, and this song Vande Mataram was written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay in a novel known as Anand Math. So Anand Math is important. You should keep this word in your subconscious mind, that Anand Math was a novel written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. Originally from that novel we have taken this national song, which is Vande Mataram. Abanindranath Tagore, not Rabindranath, it is Abanindranath Tagore painted Bharat Mata as calm, composed, divine and spiritual figure. Because we call it Mata, because we call it mother, it should be calm, composed, divine as well as spiritual. Who has painted? Abanindranath Tagore has painted this portrait of Bharat Mata. If we talk about song and folklore, I have already discussed the national song. Many peoples, many revolutionaries from different states were singing their regional songs. For example, if I take the state Punjab, Sardar Kartar Singh Saraba was there, the guru of Bhagat Singh, you can say. He had sung many songs and in Punjabi language, which brings sudden change in the Punjabi revolutionary. So in that case, if you see nationalists like Rabindranath Tagore, a Bengali, and Natesha Sastri from Madras, Rabindranath Tagore from Bengal, Natesa Shastri from Madras, completed songs, ballads, myths and folklore. Now what is ballad? A type of song which can be sung by these different people. The latter published the folklore of southern India. So question occurs directly from Natesha Sastri. Examiner can ask that name that folklore written by Natesa Shastri is the folklore of southern India. Keep this in your mind when you write your examination. So Rabindranath Tagore and Natesha Sastri are important in terms of writing the folklores. Icons and symbols, if you see icons and symbols, many icons and many symbols were used when revolutionaries were struggling to get independence. Icons and symbols were used in unifying people and inspiring them. Because people were illiterate, they were not aware, so people used to go, the revolutionary used to go to their village areas, and what they do, they share the symbol of country, they share the unifying, and they also inspire them so that they can join the revolution. Swadeshi movement in Bengal, the tricolor flag was designed, red, green and yellow. First, when the revolutionaries used to take the flags in their hand, the colors were red, green and yellow, not as it is, which we see the national flag today. Had 8 lotuses representing the 8 provinces of British India and a crescent moon representing Hindus and Muslims. So these were icons, flags. Through flags in 1921, Gandhiji designed the Swaraj flag, tricolor, red, green and white. From red, green and white, the concept came from saffron, green and white. So keep this in your mind that when non-cooperation movement was going, in the year 1921, Gandhiji has also designed a Swaraj flag which was red, green and white in color. So I hope you all are understanding this topic, icons and symbols. Next, we will see in the next video. Thank you so much.